Hello, this is Remington with Gravity Runner Sprint 3. The summary of the achievements. Ji-yoon created the save state database entries for account holders and displays the information loaded from that database. She mapped out the leaderboards for each level and standardized the level selection information. Greg created and optimized the power-up and obstacles. He crafted the pause menu, defined and created our animator, as well as revamped the collision detector for use with collisions other than walls and to assist in physics calculations. And I rewrote and optimized the physics calculator to function with jumping and developed level transitions such as restarting, continuing to the next level, and returning to the level selector. And here are my user stories. As a player, I want to jump so that I can dodge obstacles. Acceptance criteria. The player jumps in an arc. The top of the arc is twice the player's height. The player will lose forward momentum while jumping. The player will lose momentum if he or she decides to change the gravity while mid-jump. When the player reacts similarly to jumping while running off a ledge. So here, we'll start up. And we'll jump. He moves in his arc. The two things we saw there. The player jumps, moves in an arc. The arc was twice his height. The player lost forward momentum while jumping, hence the arc pattern and him slowing down to a vertical stop. Now we will do the last two there of changing the gravity mid-jump and then running off a ledge. So we'll start with running off a ledge. And as we see here, oh, well, I died there on the spikes, but as we saw there, he does go off in that arcing pattern. Similarly, if he was jumping or at the peak of said jump. Now, we'll jump and change gravity, and we see we no longer have the other, say, reversed forces here going down this way. Instead, we lost that and fell only due to the gravity. Now, my next user story. As a coin item, I want to be picked up by the player so that I may be added to the player's inventory. In the acceptance criteria, the coin disappears when the player collides with the coin, and the player's coin total increases when the player collides with a coin. So we'll go and play here again. Notice the coin here. We'll jump to that and then fall to that. Now, as we make this larger here, you can see at the very top here, let's see where our total coins are. And right now it's faint right here in 2, so let's restart the level and show it now that you know where it's at, right there. Restart the level. If we look up there, jump, boom, coins went to 1, coins went to 2. So that clears the criteria of it disappearing, as well as increasing the player's total coins. For my next user story, as a player, I want to reach the goal marker so that I can finish the level. Acceptance criteria, the goal is a 100 by 100 tile. The goal is located at some point predetermined on the map, and the game should pause when the player collides with the goal. To test that out here, I'll go and start the game without logging in. we'll navigate this to the end. So we want to make sure that we see the goal. It'll be coming up here in just a second. Goal's right there. Boom. So the goal was a 100 by 100 tile. It was located at this predetermined point on the map. Every time we come back here, it'll be at that predetermined point. And the game was paused. Nothing else is, no animations are running behind this here when I collided with the goal. Now, as a player, I want to be asked if I want to progress to the next level, so that I have a choice to continue or not. Acceptance criteria. After the player collides with a goal, a pop-up box should be displayed. The pop-up box will ask the player whether he or she wants to continue to the next level. The negative button is selected, the game view is unloaded, and the player is sent back to the level select activity. When the positive button is selected, the game loads to the next level. Now, coming back into here, we'll go and log in to test this one out. Alright, so we logged in here, and go to level select. We'll start with the first level here. Now, if we get to the goal, oof, kind of badly on this one. There we go. Should still be able to get it. And boom. There we go. So, we collided. Pop-up box showed up saying we finished. Asking what we'd like to do here. And it's asking if we want to continue on to the next level or not. The negative button here, which is return to level select. This will unload this activity. So we click on this. And we sent back to the level select activity. So turn to level select. Boom. Here we are. Back to level select activity. If we go here, and we complete the level one more time. We continue on to the next level. We are started up in the next level here. And we can see this is the next level by if pause, return to level select, and we go to the second level here, second option. We'll see that this was truly the second level. All right. Well, that should be it for my user stories. Now on to Greg.
Hello, my name is Greg Levy, and this is the demonstration of my user stories following the conclusion of Sprint 3. So after a lot of work, this is what we got. As a speed boost power-up, I want to only last a short time so that the game is more challenging. And our acceptance criteria here are after the speed boost is collected, an icon is displayed at the top of the screen. The player should increase their speed, and after 4 seconds, the player should slow down. Also, after 4 seconds, the icon should disappear. So let's demonstrate that here. So the speed boost power up is a little boot icon. So that's them down there. I want to grab my speed boost power up. All right, so here's the speed boost speed, and as you can see, there's an icon displayed up at the top, and this is normal speed, so it's considerably slower than the normal speed. All right, so moving on. As an armor power up, I want to protect the player from 1 point of damage so that he can continue the level. So if the player touches the armor power up, it increases the player's HP by 1. And if the player touches the armor power up, it then disappears. All right, so let's return to the level select here. Let's start the level. So the armor power up, as you can see, I start at 1. And then if I hit a spike, then I still survive, and then if I hit another spike, then I die. So to demonstrate that a bit more clearly, now I have two hit points. If I travel to these spikes over here, and I hit the spikes, I now have 1 hit point. So I can demonstrate that again. If I go down here and grab this armor power up, so I have 2 hit points now. And travel down to the spikes, and I have 1 hit point now. And when you collect the armor power up, they do disappear, so you can't collect them twice. All right, so moving on, we're going to talk about the spikes. So as a spike, I want to start hidden so that the player is unaware of my position. And if the player is far away from the spike should be hidden. And if the player is close enough to the spike should pop up. So let's start this up here. So I'm close enough to these spikes that they start up. So if I get close, then they hide. And if I get far away, they retract. So they start down, and then if I get close, then they pop up. Same here. So if I start close, they pop up. Moving on. So as I spike, I want to pop up when the player gets close so that that it's surprised. So if the player is close enough to the spike, then they should stay up. However, if the player moves far enough away, the spike should hide. So same thing here. If I stay close to the spike, they should stay up, which they are doing. I know it's a little hard to see, but that's the idea, is that they should stay up when I'm close to them, and then when I move far enough away, they should hide. All right, moving on. As a spike, I want to kill the player if he touches me without armor, so that the game is more challenging. And if the spike touches, or excuse me, if the player touches the spike removes 1 HP, and if the player has no HP left, then the level ends. All right, so let's restart this guy here. Restart. All right, so I just picked up an armor power up, so I have 2 hit points now. So if I travel to these spikes here and I touch them, then I lose 1 hit point. So if I get this other armor power up here, I have now 2 hit points. So if I travel down to these spikes and I touch them, I have 1 hit point. So if I touch a spike and I have no armor, which means I have 1 hit point, then I should die. And there we go. It says you died, and I can either restart the level or return to level select. Pretty cool. All right. As a player, I want to press the pause button so that I can take a break from the game. And if the pause button is pressed, a menu appears. And if the pause button is pressed, the game should not continue. So let's restart the level here. And then I'm going to hit the pause button. And a menu is displayed, and I have these options here. And then if you notice in the background, the game isn't continuing. So if I hit the resume button, I should start from where I left off, which I do. And I'll pause, and there I was in between all these spikes and stuff. So if I hit the resume button, I should start from where I left off, which I do. All right. And that'll conclude my presentation. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Gina, and I will gonna explain my child user story of Sprint 3. As a registered player, I want to write status information of my Firebase so that I can apply write status in the level item and level select activity. First, read write level status information from the Firebase. It has to be applied in list item of level select activity. Second, read the write score information of that level if the level status is cleared. So if I log in and click the level select button, it will read the write status from the Firebase. You can see these fields are corresponding. Second, as a registered player, I want to set the corresponding stage in a Revel item. First, if the Revel item view clicked, it will get right stage information and matched with right stage engine. Second, if the item view clicked, it will open the right stage engine. So if I click level 1, it will open the level 1 engine. And click level 2. And level 3. And level 4 and 5 are unclear, so I cannot open the right engine. Third, as a registered player, I want to view the leaderboard so that I can compare progress with other registered users. First, this activity will get the whole user's playing score of corresponding stage. Second, the score must be sorted in descending order. So if I click level 1's leaderboard, I can get the whole player's score in descending order. And the level 2's leaderboard too. Lastly, as a registered player, I want to make the DB field and initialize all the values so that I can use it later. First, create account button will create fields in DB. Second, after creating field, all the fields are initialized automatically. Lastly, the score value of the each stage has to be accessed in other user. So if I create this account is created, and if I click the level select button, it will initialize that, so I can only enter the level 1. And the DB fields are initialized too. And the all Rebel properties will be read and write from other users too.